All right, so we're coming to recorded and unscripted one take on Zoom. Let's go. I'm gonna try now to bind this, lay out the holes, and then we'll try and lay out the holes in this section, and then we'll stitch it the next section. So with these signatures in the book, we need to attach them to the spine so that they don't fall out, because that's a pain. What I'm going to do is use a pamphlet stitch, and I have a little map here. If you need to pause or come back to this, there you go. There's the pamphlet stitch. You're going to find that by scrolling. If you need that in the future, you can scroll down here on the bar of the time that's down here, and you take the mouse and you can pause it right there if you need to reference it. You're in charge. So we're going to do pamphlet stitch. You can do just like one pamphlet stitch right there and just do 1, 2, 3 holes. You could do try and like experiment and do 5 holes. You can do 7 holes. I think any odd number of holes will work. You can create a pattern. I'm going to do 3, and I'm going to do 3 at the top and 3 at the bottom, and leave a section in the middle kind of open. So that's what I'm going to do. I do need a pencil. Where's my pencil? Oh. Okay. Stupid joke, I know. What else do you want? I'm alone in an art room at 9 o'clock in the morning. All right, so the pages here line up pretty well, this way and that way. And I'm going to put them right in the middle. Let's measure it so I can be accurate and precise. Let me get a shorter ruler. This is this one is a lot. Cool. So that's smaller. So I've got 10.5. About 10.5 inches. I'm going to put the first hole 1 inch in. So I'm going to measure 1 inch. I'm going to make marks. So that's 9.5 and 1. So if I do, I kind of think if I put them 1.5 inches, if I put the holes 1.5 inches, I'll have 1 inch. 1 inch, 1 hole at 2.5, and 1 hole at 4, which give me about that section for the 1. I think that's okay. So I'll have 9.5. I'll have 1 at 9.5. I'll have 1 at 8, and I'll have 1 at 6.5. I think that's okay. So, can you see those marks? Can you? Computer screen. There's a mark there, a mark there, a mark there. So these are the marks. They're equal on the other side. They're very small and subtle. I'm going to try and make them even across. So what I'm going to do, line up all my signatures. You can measure them out individually on each signature because you know the measurements now. You can also line them up like this and then just make those little marks on the spine. Make sure this is lined up really well on each side, that's as flat as you can make it. But you can see I have now, I think you can see that I have those lines all lined up. I'm going to try and keep it, I also make a little mark here so I know which ones So now they will all be lined up the same direction, because if you flip them over like that, they may not line up as well. Try to keep them all in the same area. Now, I'm gonna try and get this centered in the crease here. So the first one's dead center. About an inch. Inch and 1/8, so it's 1/2 and a 1/16. Mark. 1/2 and a 1/16. So now I have a center line. Can you see that? I have a center line. Mark the center line. I've got a little T for the top, little T for the top. And I'm going to line up this signature with getting it placed exactly where I want. And then I'm going to take that little dot that's on that spine. I can see that. I'm going to make a little mark, a little cross mark on that center line, wherever there's a dot. And that's where they will line up. So you can see those marks. These marks are where holes are going to be both through the pages of the signature and through the cover of the cover, the spine of the cover. That's what I want to say. And I'm also, so this is going to be the center one. That's exactly what where they're going to go. And then I'm going to need to make the width. So if the center one's there, the one on the front and the back need to be that far apart. I'm going to try and keep it distant. Looks like they are, I think I can probably do 1/8 of an inch. So I'm just going to measure, make them 1/8 of an inch, maybe a little wider, a hair wider. So now I can measure, line a mark up with the center. I'm going to make another mark just outside of 1/8. As consistently as I can, as precisely as I can. So take some time to do that and make it precise. I wouldn't take 5 minutes to do it, but if you need to take 30 seconds, take 30 seconds. 30 seconds might be longer than you think. 30 seconds is nothing. If you've ever hugged someone for 30 seconds or had someone hug you for 30 seconds, you'll know that's a significant amount of time. Try it. All right, so there are my holes. There are my holes. I've got it all laid out. I've got a T for the top, T for the top. So I know that they're going to go that way. They're going to line up like that. And the next step is to make some holes. I think we're ready to make some holes.